morning, everyone, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello.
And we are here to do tarot readings and conversation. We'll be doing short 3-card draws, more or less.
That's our story, and we shall stick to it.
So go ahead and post your questions in chat, and we'll be happy to answer you.
I must say, I do like that hat.
Why, thank you. I got this at Hot Topic.
Really? That's very, very interesting.
Isn't it? I had no intentions of buying a hat. As
Well, how could you
frequently,
pass that one?
I know, as does happen with me. My sister and I had gone to the mall to see a movie, and we had dinner and we had a little time to kill, so we were walking around and we went in Hot Topic, and I found this hat, so I had to.
Yes, indeed.
They had two, so we bought both.
Very good.
Because, well, it was clearly meant to be.
Absolutely.
So, hi, Renee. Yes, we will send you more healing for your COVID. I'm so sorry you got that.
Yes, indeed.
Have you managed to go this long without getting it?
Who, me?
No,
Or,
Renee.
oh, Renee.
I've had it once.
I've had it once also.
Well, I hope you will get through it quickly. Rest, rest, rest. Actually, I didn't have much choice about resting. I literally fell asleep when hubby was asking me a question. So if anyone has a question they'd like us to do a tarot reading on, please go ahead and post it in chat. Do want to remind people we still do have a couple of items left on the Pagan World auction. I still have one reading left, and I think Reverend Don has two. Yes, we can do a general reading for you, Renee. Be happy to. Okay. Well, the first card I've got for you, let me get it in the light here, is the Five of Lamps. I've said this before, this is just one of my favorite cards in this deck. Hey, Rev Michael. And this is talking about Lady Chalk Eck setting off on a vision quest. So when this card comes up, it means that you need to be looking more to the spiritual than the physical at this point. Although if you need to delay that till you feel better. I've also got the Five of Cups, which suggests something has happened. Did you get it too?
I did.
Which suggests something has happened that you're not very happy about or has caused you some emotional loss. And then I've got the Five of Pentacles, which indicates that there could be some issues on the material plane. So I would suggest being careful around your financial resources right now. And especially because I remember the COVID mind fog, try and delay making any financial decisions if you possibly can until you get through it, or if you've got to make up your mind about something, bounce it off somebody you trust.
And I have the Ace of Lamps, which is also spiritual focus. It's saying to have your eye on spiritual matters, on your higher guidance, on your relationship to spirit. Five of Cups, which is sorrow or unhappiness, but I think we can pretty much say what that is. You're unwell. You have COVID. Of course, you're not feeling particularly happy with the situation. And then we have the Magus. And the Magus says that regarding the future, you can do what you want. You have the means you need. You have the information you need. You just have to be sure of what you want and pursue it. So it's saying right at the moment you're not entirely happy with your circumstances. Of course not. You're unwell. You need to be focused on your spiritual guidance, and you need to remember you can do whatever it is you truly want. And that's what I get for you.
So, well, we certainly hope you are feeling better soon, Renee. Now we've
Yes,
got,
indeed.
yeah, we got a couple of questions from Anissa. Now, one is, are the spirits of past boyfriends trying to tell you something? And I'm not positive if these are spirits of people who have already crossed over. You're very welcome, Renee.
Yes, indeed.
And is your future mate female or male? And that can be hard to say because your future mate could be a lot of different people, Anissa. How do you think we should read for this? We got you, Michael.
Well, how about the next future mate? How's that?
Okay.
Bearing in mind that life is long and there may be many.
Yes.
But immediately speaking.
Okay.
And I agree with Magical Mermaid. What we're really looking for is masculine or feminine energy, rather than just bluntly male or female.
Masculine or feminine energy for your next future mate. Thank you, Magical Mermaid.
Okay, well, I will go first because you went first last time. And my first card is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is spiritual guidance, um, spiritual messaging, receiving information from spirit. But in terms of the question of whether we're talking about masculine or feminine energy, you can see that in the drawing, it's a female figure. So I would say that we are talking more about a feminine energy. With it, we have the Princess of Lamps, which is another female figure. And I would say, again, we're talking about a feminine energy. And finally, we have Temperance. And Temperance, as you can see, is divided between male and female. So I think we're probably talking about someone who would identify as female, but also probably is somewhat finely balanced in their energy. Um, oh, primarily a feminine energy, but with a lot of masculine in there too. I'm going to draw one last card. And I've drawn the Princess of Cups, which is another feminine figure. And the different figures in the cards are pretty equally matched between masculine and feminine. So when we're asking this question and mostly feminine figures show up, I would take that to be the answer.
Well, we're going to have a discussion now. I've got the Seven of Swords with a very masculine figure here. I've got the Hanged Man. I've got the Sun. The figure looks masculine to me. You can't say 100. Oh, well, you drew it.
Yeah.
Plus, solar energy is considered generally to be masculine, while lunar energy is feminine. And I'll draw one more card. Now, this time I've got the Nine of Lamps, which is feminine.
That's very interesting. I don't think we've ever been quite so diametrically opposite before.
And I'm going, I'm reminded of the time that I was working with dowsing rods when my daughter was pregnant, and I asked if my future grandchild was male and the rods didn't move, and I asked if my future grandchild was female and the rods didn't move, and I said maybe it's a sign I shouldn't ask. I should just quit worrying about whether the baby is male or female. And the rod swung as wide as they could, which meant yes. So, Anissa, I don't think we're going to tell you tonight.
Apparently, it will be a surprise.
Yes. Yes, as Magical Mermaid says, make it pink, make it blue.
Reminds me of the little fairy changing Aurora's dress from pink to blue.
Yes. So, look for someone you enjoy being with and go from there. Oh, and that was the grandchild who turned out to be trans anyway.
Well, that might be part of why you got that answer.
That just hit me.
Mm-hmm. And it might be part of this answer too.
Could be. Or perhaps this is someone who identifies as non-binary or gender fluid.
It could be. So, I believe Lynn has a question.
Yes, Lynn says my brother is in the hospital. Can I get a reading on how best to support him? Certainly. One second here. My laptop was not plugged in and it started fussing about power. All right, so it's my turn to go first.
Yep.
So the first card I have for you is the moon. And so in this context, I would say you need to be doing some magical workings for him for his healing. The next card I have is magic. So again, you need to be doing workings for his healing. And finally, I have the Hermit, which suggests you have the abilities. If you are skilled in any healing modalities, you obviously should be working those for him. Otherwise, just healing spells in whatever forms of magic you work with.
And as I was shuffling, I had the Two of Wands fall out of the deck. When they fall out that way, it means they want to be read. The Two of Wands is new beginnings, new direction. So I think that what you're going to see is a new direction for your brother's future. I don't know why the brother is in the hospital. I don't know exactly what's going on, but some new things are going to come out of it, and you want to support those new directions. I then got 10 of Coins, 10 of Cups, and Soul. The 10 of Coins is a card of happiness and prosperity. The 10 of Cups is a card of happy family. And I would take those both to be saying, be very emotionally supportive. Focus on being that strong emotional support. And then Soul is new beginnings, bringing forth light from darkness, bringing forth the soul from the universe. So again, new directions, and support those new directions as they take shape. And that's what I'm getting at.
Okay, and I hope that's helpful, Lynn.
Yes, indeed.
And does anyone else have a question for us?
Hello, Bryan.
Hey, Bryan. What Bryan wants to know?
Well, I can tell you what not to take away from your pending surgery. Any of those little tools left inside you. Don't take that.
Okay, Bryan wants to know what to take away from his pending society. And Magical Mermaid says we don't live forever, but life in these bodies, but lifespans can be improved. Lynn says thank you, a tall order for him. Katrina says how to find lost strength. We will do your reading next, Katrina. Bryan says, thank you for filling in for me, Reverend Don. Oh my God, love you too much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Am I going first this time?
You are.
So the first card that I have is again the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is spiritual guidance. And use this time and the time recovering from the surgery, the time involved in it, to pay attention to your spiritual guidance, pay attention to your spiritual connection, and let it lead you. We then have the Princess of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is a timeout or a resting period. So it's saying that as this surgery happens, as you're recovering for it, take the time that you need to recover. Do not rush it. Very important. And Princess of Coins represents a situation where you could move forward faster, but this is a card of holding back. And in this case, I would say it's saying, don't run forward just as fast as you can. Take the time you need to make sure that you're recovered. Do not press yourself in this situation, but make sure that you've taken care of yourself. And again, listen to your spiritual guidance, particularly in terms of when you're actually recovered. Now, that's what I would say.
So the first card I drew was the King of Pentacles. So this is talking about planning wisely. So plan things, make the plans you need for the time you're going to be down to handle everything financially. I got the Nine of Swords. So rest, whatever time you need to recuperate from this, take. Although if you want to come on and read cards with me while you're on pain meds, we'll certainly entertain that.
I'm sure that would be very entertaining.
Yes, it will be. And finally, I've got the Six of Lamps, which shows Lady Chok-Ek on her vision quest and meeting one of her spirit guides. So this says, while you have the downtime, go ahead and pursue your spiritual goals. This is a good time to work on your studies and anything else you need to work on spiritually. This is a good time for it. Yes, Bryan, slow yourself down is a wonderful challenge. So slow thy roll.
Yes.
I mean, we can always ask Jay to sit on you and make sure you're not, overdoing things like a good fiance will. I'll send you a reading list found on Kindle to keep you busy. So you don't even have to leave the house. And hello to Jenny. Hello to Jan. And then Thank you all for joining us. And the next up is Katrina, How to Find Lost Strength. Okay, so I'm going to go first, Katrina. And the first card I've got for you is the Four of Swords. And this just indicates rest. Don't push yourself too hard. Give yourself rest, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Allow yourself to rest. If you need to step back from a situation, step back. I've got the Five of Pentacles, which can indicate some issues on the material plane. Be careful around your resources and don't let anyone push you into something you don't need to be doing. And I've got the Emperor, and when he comes up in a reading, he's saying that whatever the situation is right now, it's not permanent. So whatever you're feeling right now, the situation's going to change. And I'm going to pull one more card for you. And I've
been a good influence.
What?
I've been a good influence.
And I've got the King of Swords. And this is about planning carefully and using your strengths and looking at what has worked in the past. So take some time to rest. Back away if you need to, and plan carefully for how you need to approach your situation.
The cards I have drawn are the Four of Lamps, the Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is waiting for a situation to change. It's waiting, resting, holding off, saying basically don't rush to do anything, but take your time. The Eight of Swords says you can't really do what you want to do at this moment anyway, so wait for the right moment to come. And the Four of Lamps is basically seeking spiritual guidance to know when that right moment is. So what it's saying is that while you may feel like you're lacking strength because you cannot move the way that you would like to move right now, that isn't necessarily what's really happening. It's that it's not the right time to move. Trust, be patient, rest, and when the time is right, you will know. And I will follow my own advice and draw one more card. And I've drawn the Four of Swords, which again is saying, take your time, rest, be ready when the time comes, but don't push it too fast. Let it come when it's ready. And that's what I would say for you.
And Anissa, I do see your question, but we have read for you once already. So let's go ahead and get Jenny's question here.
And what is that question?
Jenny's question is, when in the coming weeks will be the best time to communicate hard to hear information in a firm and respectful way. And Katrina says, wow, thank you. And oh, goddess, that's great. You're very welcome.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, the first card I've got is the Two of Wands, which is suggesting a new beginning, a new start, a new place. So if something new is coming up, that would seem to be a good time or place. We now have the Hanged Man. We have, so I'm going to say with this situation, be prepared to sacrifice something. But then we've got the Three of Cups. So overall, I think it's going to come out all right for you, Jenny, if you pick your time and place.
So I started by drawing cards for the next several weeks because the question was when in the next several weeks would be the best time. Next week is not it. I got the Princess of Wands for next week, which is a situation not ready to happen yet. But the following week, we have the Chariot. So about around 2 weeks from now or a little bit after would probably be a good time. The following 2 weeks after that also have very positive cards. So I would say around the end of the year, the beginning of the new year is the time you really want to look at. I then drew 3 cards for the situation, and I drew first the Four of Swords, which says, again, don't rush it. Seems to be the theme tonight. Let it take the time to have the right time to do this, and everything will be better. Time, which to some extent means that the passage of the time until the time is right is also going to make the situation easier as well as the conversation. Certain things may happen between now and then. So again, let it take the time it needs. And it's followed by the Four of Wands, which is a very positive card of achievement. So I think that when the time comes to do this, it will actually go well for you. But you do want to take your time and make sure that you wait for the right time, which I would say, again, is any time after about 2 weeks. And there we go.
All right. Hi, Iaso. Thank you for joining us. And Michael asks, next Thursday is our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Oh, my.
And congratulations. What do the cards say about the next 10 years? I think it's your turn to go first.
So as I was shuffling, the Emperor fell out of the deck. To me, the Emperor represents cycles, changes, things that go up and come back down. So it's saying, it's going to be like every situation. There'll be good times, there'll be bad times, um, and it's the overall goodness of the situation that you want to focus on, not the immediate moments. Because, like everything else, there will be both ups and downs. Now, for the question itself, I have the Queen of Coins, which is prosperity and stability. The Queen of Swords, which is learning from past experience. So, to some extent, what you've got is what you're getting. Um, you can kind of judge the next 10 years from the last 10 years. And then we have the Seven of Coins, to which I drew temperance as a balance to explain a little. That is not green. It should not be dropping out. Anyway, um, the seven of coins is looking at the future, deciding what the future is going to be, and it's saying that yes, you can judge the next 10 years by the last 10 years, but you also can change it. You can bring new things in, and temperance is creating new things from old things. So it's saying that as you go forward, um, what's already there is going to be there, but you can also bring new things in to liven it up, new things in to continue growing, and you'll be happy if you do so. So that's what I get.
So the first card I've got is the Ace of Cups. And of course, cups are all about our emotions. The aces are always considered fortunate when it comes to emotions. And this is suggesting that perhaps trying to bring something fresh to the situation. I got the King of Wands. Wands are around passion, strength, and the King of Wands is also someone who plans things out well, suggesting that long range planning might be a good idea in this situation. And I drew past, and here we can see an older woman looking at her reflection in the water, but she's seeing her younger self. And this is saying don't let the past determine the present. So, whatever patterns you have established, you can still change. And then I drew one more card for clarity. And I got my own card, Queen of Swords. And this is about learning from the past, overcoming your obstacles. So, whatever changes you want to make, you can make, Michael. If there are things you want to change in your relationship, you can change them. But you're going to have to work at it, both of you. So, I hope that's helpful. Yeah, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. I mentioned earlier I got my hat at Hot Topic. And then Jan is asking us, my brother's experiencing health issues, tends to be non-compliant because he thinks he knows more than medical professionals. Can I get a general reading as to his current situation? Why, thank you, Jan. I love the hat too, but I'm a hat person. You may have noticed. Okay. So the first card I've got for you is the Princess of Cups. And with the Princess of Cups, cups are around our emotions, and the princesses represent earth. And so I feel like with this card, someone, possibly your brother or someone else, is really holding something back emotionally in the situation, or not communicating what they need to be communicating. And then we've got the Princess of Lamps. And this is the spiritual suit in the deck. So this is about spiritual growth. And again, so we've got Earth as the base and spiritual growth. So it's possible your brother is experiencing some spiritual growth through this. And finally, I've got the Eight of Wands, which means sudden change that could really go in any direction. And then finally, I've got our friend, the Four of Swords, which means taking a time out to rest. And I'll also add this, Jan, you can't do anything at all about whether or not your brother does what the doctors say. That's his decision, not yours. Okay.
So I have drawn 3 major arcana cards. And that tends to indicate that whatever is happening here is very important, probably very spiritual. And, he may be experiencing a bit of a rejuvenation through this. First card is the Body, which is a card that's unique to the Tarot of Hecate. And but since we're asking about a physical illness type of situation, obviously it involves the body. But this card is also a card of wholeness. And it's saying he may be getting in touch with parts of himself that he has been alienated from. The Empress is stability and prosperity and good things. But you can also see it's the great Mother Goddess and her divine child. And it represents being supported by the universe, being supported by spirit. So I would say that this is a strong spiritual choice for him and a strong spiritual chance for him. And that if he takes good advantage of it, he will come out of it in a fairly rejuvenated state. Last card is the Fool. And the Fool basically says that anything is possible. He has to be clear on what he wants. And he can really choose to go in any direction. Once he's chosen it, he can do it. But he's currently in what we'd call the chaos moment, the moment when all things are possible. And let me draw one more card to go with that.
Because.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've drawn the King of Coins, and the King of Coins is, again, another positive card, a card of stability. So I think that he will take the possibility of regeneration that the situation offers. Again, he could go in any direction, but I think he'll end up going in a good direction. So that's what I've got for you.
So I hope that's helpful, Jan.
Indeed.
And we've got a question from Iaso. How can we spread comfort and peace most effectively in such hostile times? You are welcome, Jan.
Absolutely.
Your turn.
Well, in terms of how to most effectively spread comfort and peace in these hostile times, first card is Make Love, Not War. Uh, it's the Lover's card. And in this context, now the Lover's card normally represents a choice. But in terms of this particular question, I'm going to take it at face value. And if you want to spread love and peace and comfort, do so by being a loving person. It's the best way to spread it at this time. It's followed by the Prince of Wands, which is defocused energy, which would not normally be a positive card, but in this case might be. Because we're talking about how best to spread peace and comfort. And this is saying not one big focused project, but many little things going in many directions. So be that loving person and spread it all around. And finally, we have the Ace of Cups, which again is love. And it's saying, take your love and spread it through the world. That's the best thing you can do rather than any major project. Just live the message. And that's what I got.
All right. So the first card I've got is the Six of Pentacles, where we see someone sharing with someone else. So I'm just going to say, be willing to share what you have. Then, ta-da! It's the Lovers. So we could take it on face value and just be loving. Another possibility is to make a wise choice on where you can spend your time and effort. Because as my friend Byron Ballard will say, pick no more than 3 causes to support. And trust that the people working on all the other causes are doing their job. And then finally, I've got the 3 of Pentacles, which is talking about working and receiving the rewards of that work, which is, yeah, and he also says, yes, I try and help and comfort all I can. I guess I just feel overwhelmed. So you do what you can where you can. And you trust that other people are doing the same thing. Because you literally cannot help everybody in the world who is in need. The other thing is, if you say there's a lot of need in your own neighborhood. So what can you organize? Who can you contact? Are there organizations you could ask for help? And the feeling I'm getting too is be wise in what you do with your resources. Hi, Kushi, welcome.
Welcome. So we have 9 minutes left.
Yes,
do we have another question?
Yes. We're coming up on the top of the hour. So do we have any more questions? I'm also going to add that we will be hosting an online Yule ritual Sunday night, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Yes, Kushi, if you want to post a question, we'll be happy to do a short reading for you. Yeah, also, you are doing what you can do.
Sometimes just doing that next right thing is the best thing that you can do.
It is.
And people often underestimate the effect of actions that they take that may not seem all encompassing, but can have um, much farther repercussions than you realize.
Okay. Cushy, are you currently married or are you asking about the man you will marry? Okay. So you're asking about your future husband. All right. Well, we all wish we could do more, y'all. So you are very welcome, Jenny. Hmm.
Thank you, Yazo. Yazo says, "Thanks for the reading. It's nice to be with you both." It's nice to be here with you. Thank you.
All right. Well, Cushy, the first card I get is the Veil, which means there is something hidden about the situation right now. The next card I get is the Prince of Cups. And what this means is that in your relationship, communication is important, and you and your future husband are going to have to learn to communicate very clearly with each other what you want and need. But overall, it does look like a fortunate relationship.
And so for me, as I was shuffling, this card fell out, the Two of Swords, which is a card of alliance and a card of a relationship that's fortunate for both parties. Um, I then drew the Princess of Swords. The Princess of Swords is also about communication. It's about careful communication. And it's saying that communication will take a very important part in the relationship. It will be very important to make sure that communication is being had in the right ways. This is another way of saying that there may be things that need to be said that are not said, and to make sure that they get said. Expectations that are not understood completely. So make sure that you're both on the same page when you come to that point. Six of Coins is again saying it would be a fortunate situation. The Six of Coins is charity or helping other people. So I would say that the relationship would be helpful to both parties. And the Six of Cups has to do with past influences. It could be that you may have actually met this person at one time or another, or they may remind you of people you have known. But you're going to feel a sense of the past in dealing with this person. And I would say that would mean that there may be a certain tendency for things that have happened in the past to repeat themselves. I'm going to draw one more card to go with that. And I've drawn the Two of Cups, which is a happy relationship. So overall, it looks good, but make sure that communication is well dealt with and that everything that needs to be said gets said. And do expect a certain feeling of past influences around it. And that's what I had for you.
All right. And we are at about the top of the hour, so we are going to close for the evening. We will be back next Thursday.
Well, some of us will be back next Thursday.
Yes. Well, I think I did have you down for next Thursday.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll both be back next Thursday.
And would you have a blessing for us?
Absolutely.
You are very welcome, Kushi.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we pray that we shall go forward together, hand in hand, for many years to come. We ask you to give us the information that we need to make the right decisions in our lives, and give us the guidance that will lead us forward on the most successful and happy paths. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you with great love and thanks, and knowing you are always with us, but from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. We thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always also.
Blessed be. Have a good evening, everyone.